Hi, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
We are headed to New Mexico to visit 4 state parks, well, some other national stuff around there. We're going to make a 5th video because we've recently been reading a series of books set in Albuquerque, and
we get to meet the author.
So come on along for the ride and stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers, coming at you from
Brantley Lake State Park near Carlsbad. It actually says it's in Artesia.
It's between Carlsbad and Artesia. And we're going to show you some of the campground here. You're going to be short on trees, or short trees, one way or the other. It's a nice campground for the area and very reasonable. Water and electric sites are like $14. So it is the closest state park to Carlsbad Caverns. However, like I said, it's north of Carlsbad, and Carlsbad is north of the caverns. So
yes.
It is a drive to get down to it, but it is a location that you can access it. And guys, this park has tons of jackrabbits.
Yes.
Really big jackrabbits. Some of them really, the way they hop and all, it looked like small dogs running across the road. But we enjoyed it, and we filmed our final thoughts, and then the skies cleared, so we actually did get to go swim. And so when we get to the final thoughts, just realize that we
and if you're not from this area, the wind can pick up
at the drop of a hat.
Yes.
Now, this is down at White's City, which is where the entrance to Carlsbad Caverns is. And this is a little strip shopping area. There is a RV parking lot.
This is it. I mean,
we did not stay there. We called about reservations, but
this is the Ramada Inn. There is a
water park there. Now, you can tow your RV up to the entrance and leave it in the parking lot. There is somewhere that you can leave it there. The Visitor Center is fascinating, and I think this is an area that when I've come here in the past, I've blown right past.
Yeah.
It's always like, I want to get in the caverns, I want to get, inside, and this time we spent time up top, and to me this was fascinating. It shows the natural entrance and how far you descend, and here's where the elevator shaft is. From the new, I don't know how new it is, but from when we went before, it's new. How far down you go, and then just how massive this cavern system is.
And if you've never gone through the natural entrance, we highly recommend it.
It is years and years and years ago, when we were little kids, there were ranger tours, and they took you through the natural entrance, and you got down to a certain point, and they actually had you sit down on these little rock benches and turned off the lights.
Yes.
And so it was fascinating. But the Visitor Center held a lot of really cool stuff to look at. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have taken so many pictures and videos when I've been in the caverns, and I just can't do it justice.
No.
And so this time we were making a really fast trip through here, and decided to go and spend time in the Visitor Center instead of making another trip into the cavern. So glad we did it. And somebody got some great pictures, so I just, piggybacked on theirs that were posted here.
They used to mine guano in the cave until 1958.
From the bats, and you can definitely smell that as you go through. Now, there are 2 shops. One is run by the park system, and it has a lot of educational kind of stuff, and souvenirs, and it's certainly worth a look through. And then there's the big one with the cafeteria and all of that, and it's just kind of a madhouse. And I have no idea how many people were actually down in the caverns, because the parking lots, both of them were full. Now, guys, don't drive this fast down, but I recommend you go see the bats. But I'm just showing this because if you're not used to this, driving down this at night,
by the time the bats finish coming out, it's about dark.
And so it is I wouldn't want to tow down this personally.
No.
But just to give you an idea, it is a kind of a steep, windy little road.
Hey Sharon, what are your final thoughts about Brantley Lake State Park near Carlsbad?
It is a neat little park. If you're coming here in the summer, it's going to be hot. And I tell you, we've missed out on swimming too. I can't believe that. You can't necessarily tell it from this direction, but the clouds are really dark back that direction. So we, unless it clears off a lot, we're not heading down to swim. But the location, as we said, you know, this is the closest state park to Carlsbad Caverns. And it's at least, well, it's, 15 miles south to Carlsbad. And then from Carlsbad down to the entrance of the park, I believe they say it's like 20 miles,
Yes.
and then it's about 5 miles on up. So it's not close.
And it's windy roads.
If you've never been to the caverns and seen the bats come out at night, that's something you want to do. I would not want to drive all the way back because you have to be there at night. And I'm not really a night person anyway. For the bats to come out, it has to be getting dark. And so to drive down the windy road, we did that last time we came to Carlsbad.
Yes.
We didn't have the RV, we stayed in the little
Roadway in.
right there at the entrance at White's City. And so that wasn't too bad at all. Driving back to Carlsbad is a straight shot, but it's still a pretty good little drive.
Yes.
And then driving all the way through Carlsbad and up to here would be a bit much. Something you might do. They do have parking for RVs. I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to tow an RV up there in the daytime. A lot of people do.
They don't have camping.
No. But they have a parking lot where you can, but you can't leave your pets in unless you have a generator, I guess. But something we talked about. We called and asked the White's City RV Park parking lot to get a reservation for the one night so we could go down and film the bats. And their reply was,
You can reserve it the day before. And I said, you mean we're going to drive from Texas and not know we were going to be near Roswell and not know until the day before whether you have us? No, that's the way we do it.
and so we opted not to do that. Now, if you've never seen the bats come out and you want to do it, and you're like us, not really comfortable with that towing, they do have sites here that I think are $10 a night, $14 a night, something like that. So if you're not traveling with pets, you might tow, just get a place to park your RV here, spend the night in the roadway inn, and that way you can see the bats and you'd have your RV near.
Hi, we're at Guadalupe National Forest Park. Mountains.
Guadalupe Mountain National Park.
Just not too far, about 45 miles from Carlsbad.
This is south of Carlsbad, and so this, we're going to amend something we said in our final thoughts about camping.
Yes.
This is another option. They do have a campground here, and it's $8 a night. There are no hookups at all. There is water nearby, but there are no hookups. So I went in and I asked the ranger what the temperature range is here, because
Yes.
Texas, that's an important thing. We're in June, and nights are going to be no problem. You're in the lower mountains here, and so you're in the 60s. Daytime highs, he said, going to be upper 80s, lower 90s. So
It's doable.
it would be doable with fans and stuff, but if you're going
You have
to,
a generator.
if you have a generator, you're going to be great. But this would be another option this is about as far south of Carlsbad National Park as
Yes.
Caverns as we were north of it. So
Yes.
let me just kind of show you around the area here for a second. We are not staying here. Like I said, we were just driving past. This is the Welcome Center, and then these are the mountains. There's a famous peak, and I don't remember what it's called, but down here. And so if you're in the area, you want to do some hiking,
excruciatingly difficult hiking,
Yes.
this would be a great place, and we may drive through the park just to show you what the RV sites look like. If we can from where we've stopped. If we can't, sorry.
Oh, there is a bathroom.
Okay, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the parking lot. You back in here.
You pull through those.
Yeah. They got their solar panels out.
Proceed to Guadalupe
And they have a
Mountains
little
National
picnic
Park.
tables.
Not at each. Do they at each?
I think they do each.
Okay.
Not the ones in the middle, but
The bigger sites are going to be in the middle. But anyway, the caverns, if you've never been in there,
they're impressive.
it is impressive. The visitor center is extremely informative. I mean, there's a lot, obviously,
And
you've seen. We had a lot of fun there.
Going in through the natural entrance, I haven't done it in probably, 30 years, more than 30 years. Sharon has.
The last time we came, we wanted to go in the caverns. It was before Marlene had her hip replacement, and she was just emphatic that I go in the natural entrance. I tell you, I basically sprinted down that, and my calves killed me the next day because I was just huffing it down there. But it's interesting if you've never been to the caverns. It is massive, and it's something to see. You really
Yes.
want to do that. And like we said, now this is the closest state park, and so we've had a good time here.
Their literature does not let you know that there's swimming anywhere in this lake, and we didn't know if there was something maybe wrong with the lake or. Well, Sharon called and talked to a ranger today, and he said, "Oh yeah, just anywhere. There's not a designated swimming area."
But the primitive camping, you just drive down there, and it's dirt roads, and that's why we're kind of waiting, because they don't get much rain out here.
No.
And that dirt road
9 inches, I think.
Yeah, that dirt road, I think, would turn to mud in a hurry. So we're not about to go anywhere near there until that way looks a lot clearer. But anyway, the other thing about this park is, and the dogs they've gotten a whole lot more used to, lots of rabbits, lots
Yes.
of jackrabbits around here. And saw a huge, well, for me, it's huge. Saw a lizard, seriously, with his little tail and all. He was a pretty good sized little lizard. He was scurrying under the fifth wheel. But anyway, it's a nice park. Glad we came here, and
I am too.
I'm looking forward to our next leg.
Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.